In a bombed out room in Belfast, a young boy is crying. He's alone and he don't understand how the teachings of one book, built on love and understanding, could cause the hurt and killing in his land. In an old part of Jerusalem, two children are playing. They run and laugh the way that it should be. But one will wear the star and one will wear the crescent. They'll grow up and change from friends to enemies, but we are one.
Hello viewers, it's nice to have you again on this edition of Peace, Unity and Security Education, a program aimed at inculcating the values, the principles of love, peace, unity, public trusts among the citizenry in order to make the country a better place for all. I am Ene Okun. The program is being brought to you courtesy of the National Spiritual Assembly of the BAHA'I community in Nigeria in collaboration with the Foundation for Peace and Security Education, FOPSE. Our topic for this edition will be on the role of parents in promoting peace, unity, and security. And our guest, as usual, is Retired Commissioner of Police, Barrister Lawrence Alobi. Sir, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you and good morning.
Yes, sir. As usual, we'll start the program with prayers.
Yes, parents have a role to play. So I want to read a prayer for children that was written by BAHA'I. So let us pray. Oh God, educate these children. These children are the plants of thine orchard, the flowers of thy meadow, the rose of thy garden. Let thy rain fall upon them. Let the sun of light shine upon them with thy love. Let thy breeze inflate them, in order that they may be trained, grow and develop, and appear in the utmost beauty. Thou art the giver, thou art the compassionate. So I said this prayer was revealed by BAHA'I for children.
Thanks for that prayer. You agree with me that the family is seen as the foundation for the building of the society. Now, looking at what is happening in the country today, will you say that parents have failed in their role to inculcate the moral character in children that will help them to add value to society?
Thank you very much. You see, children were given to parents as custodian in trust. God has given children to parents as a trust. For them to trust, those children are given to them to as a trust, and they have a moral duty before God to rear those children in line with the will of God. Children are brought to this world through the parent, the mother and their father, the wife and the husband, the mother and father. So they also have a duty. Like I said, they're given to the parents in trust. And when someone gives something in trust, you have a duty to take care of that thing that's given in trust into you, their care. So parents have a moral and spiritual duty to ensure that their children are brought up in line with the will of God, the teachings of God. So they become light that will shine in the world, not the ones that will come and bring darkness and chaos in society. So BAHA'I says, woe betide a parent who failed to counsel his children, and woe betide a child who failed to take the counsel of his parents. In fact, any parents who fail in that duty is going to face calamity. Not even it may not be this world, but the next world. So parents have a duty to counsel their children in a spiritual way, to acquire moral values and spiritual values. What are those moral values? One, devotional character of the family. Do parents inculcate their children the culture of prayers? Because prayer is communion with God. Prayer is supplication with God. If you pray that we praise God and glorify Him, if you pray that we pray to God to make our supplication and prayer to Him. When we pray to God, we supplicate to Him. for protection, for guidance, for bounties, and for His grace. Do parents ever sit down in the morning, pray with their children, and maybe read try to talk about the children on the virtues of life? Honesty, for instance, truthfulness, humility, service, compassion, trustworthiness, empathy, unity, peace. These are attributes that parents should inculcate in their children. What the child, what a parent who goes to get question paper from a lecturer to give to the child to read before exams, a parent who go to influence examiners or cheating exams, is not teaching the children how to the culture of hard work, how to work hard. A parent want to cut corners for the children. That is no love. It is destroying the future of the life of the children. You must expose children to hardships. They know that they have to work hard to achieve what they want to achieve. They are expose them to those attributes of virtues of honesty. For instance, some parents, you be in the house, a visitor come, tell him I'm not in. The child, you tell the child, the visitor will come, parent will tell the visitor, my dad is not in. Why is it dad is in? The parents unconsciously teach the child how to tell lies. And that is not good enough. We should teach our children those attributes, those virtues, and we should manifest them in our character. In our character, learning what we call cross learning. Children learn by what they see and what they hear. The environment in which the children grow up, like in social, we call it socialization. The family is a basic unit of socialization. So parents have a duty to teach their children those moral qualities, spiritual qualities, in terms of love for the oneness of God. The oneness of what? The oneness of God, that God is the creator, the all-seeing God. That whatever we do, God is seeing, we should refrain and what we do in the sight of God, because God is a God of justice. And whatever we do to teach the children, whatever we do, there's a consequence. So moral education is very, very important to build their character formation, character development. Those attributes of honesty, of truthfulness, trustworthy character, of sincerity, of justice, of love, of unity. Like about the issue of no question on your tongue, we should not use kindly words when addressing one another. The kindly tongue, and unkind tongue says it provokes wrath. We use kindly tongue, our language. We should lovingly teach our children in a kindly language, and we parents should also behave in those attributes, because our actions, children learn from what they see and hear. We parents should also demonstrate that a character of love, of peace, of unity. Husband and wife should live together in peace. They should not become when they begin to fight and quarrel. They should begin to emulate and fight and quarrel. And by so they learn that strive and not to cheat. So parents have a duty to inculcate in their children moral and spiritual education. That's the foundation for all education. Even in schools. Children in schools, they don't even look at moral education. They don't care. They won't be about certificate, only education, scientific education. Oh, first class. So those attributes, parents have a duty. But when parents, because now today we have this crisis today where children are in cult, in drugs, because parents are failing in their duty, and there's a consequence.
There's this the problem of parents spending more time on their work, trying to make ends meet to take care of the children, having less time to spend with their children. How do you reconcile this?
See, whatever in my home, every morning we must pray together and read one virtues. And when I learn that virtue, we have a book called Family Virtue Tree, a Bible. We read one virtue and analyze it. Each person will explain how you understand that virtue. We read the reading. And for one time, my daughter, who is a lawyer now, she was in university. He asked me that, Daddy, what do you do when we go to school? Don't do it like other children do in school. I said, well, those virtues, because you have internalized them. So it is because parents are failing in their moral obligation before God and with the children. So now, whatever you have to program yourself, time management. You have to, whatever duty you have program yourself. Have meet like this, teach the culture of the devotional culture in the family. Praying together, and teach them the art of praying, teach them how they should show in their character those virtues.
Okay.
By so doing, you are developing a strong moral character in the children. And when they go out, they will not be, even if they are tempted, they will resist temptation. Abdullah says, woe betide the parents who fail to counsel the children, and woe betide the child who fail to take the counsel of the children. Any child who does not obey his children, any child who go counseling, divine counseling with the parents, will not have calamity and tribulation. Any parent too who fail to counsel his children, give the direct guidance properly, what calamity and tribulation to face in life. May not be in this world, but in this world.
So it's a two-way thing, because we have situations where parents have really, play their role in inculcating moral virtues in children, and yet the children still deviate from the teachings of the parents. So it's a two-way thing. The parents must, the children must adhere to the moral teachings.
Definitely. That's why BAHA'I wants with the children. The children too, if you fail to take the counsel of the parents, there's a consequence. What is the calamity and tribulation? You think people start beginning to say it's witchcraft? Nothing like witchcraft. We don't believe in witchcraft. Witchcraft, those negative, when God listens to you, that what the people call Satan or the devil. You cannot see the devil in your heart. The throne, Bible says the throne is the heart of God. When you don't put God in your heart, the negativity comes in. Godlessness comes into your heart, and you do better evil. When you allow God to come into your heart, the light of God will shine on you, give you divine guidance. A positive thought will lead to a positive action. A positive action will lead to a positive result. A negative thought will lead to a negative action. A negative action will lead to a negative result. So when we allow God to come into our life, when we accept God in our life, manifest God in our life, you see the light of God shining upon us. So also any child, any parent who inculcate this in his children, there are a lot of blessings coming from him, blessings in terms of good health. The better form, God has blessings, God blesses in various forms. So parents should not fail in their duty. And Nigerian parents, not only Nigerian, all over the world, should have a moral obligation. And Paula says, Abdullah says, parents must inculcate in their children those moral and spiritual education. Apart from the scientific, the education is Paula says education must be compulsory. The children should be educated in various trades and crafts. They should be taught how to be involved in various trades and crafts. Paula says nobody should be idle. We should all have to engage in doing something to contribute towards the betterment of the world.
All right, you've heard it. The parents, you really have a very big role to play to, inculcate moral values in your children, so as to make society a better place for all. Let's take a break, and when we return, the program continues. Welcome from that break. If you are just tuning in, it is Peace, Unity and Security Education, a program brought to you courtesy of the National Spiritual Assembly of the Baha'i Community in Nigeria in collaboration with the Foundation for Peace and Security Education, FOPSE. Our guest has been retired Commissioner of Police, Barrister Lawrence Alobi. Barrister Lawrence Alobi is also the Chairman of the National Spiritual Assembly of the Baha'i Community in Nigeria and the Executive Director, Foundation for Peace and Security Education, FOPSE. So let me ask you this question. Discipline. Is discipline necessary in bringing up children?
It's key and central. Discipline, for you to know a pure gold, you must go through the hottest fire. You go to, if you go goldsmith, you want to test a gold, it must go through. So a child must go through this process of discipline. And discipline is for you to learn to do the right thing at the right time. And when a child is being taught discipline, it might look initially may look a little painful, but later the child will realize that it was being actually, it was a bounty. It was a great thing the parents were giving to him, that child. Discipline is very, very necessary. Like for instance, when you plant, those of my agrarian society, when you plant a yam, the yam will grow, germinate, and it's time you put a stake and tie it to a particular stake. You must direct like the shepherd. You have to shepherd the children. When the cattle derailler doesn't allow his cattle to derail. So if as a farmer, when you plant your yam grows, you have to guide the stake and guide to give a direction. So it doesn't, because if allow it to keep among the weeds, it will be choked and it will not be productive. When Christ said the sower, who sows his crop and he fall among the rocks, among the thorns. Because the child must weed away undesirable traits in the children. That's discipline. Just like a farmer, when a crop grows, the wild weeds are being weeded away to give the plant more manure, to give the plant room to grow. So also a child is being those undesirable traits. If your child is doing something that are not undesirable in the family and not in line with the teachings of God, you weed them away, guide them. Don't do this. And when they do that, you can do many ways. You can discipline the child. You might deny the child certain things, certain rights. Let him know why, but you do it in a loving manner. We Baha'is, we don't like using caning a child.
Okay.
But we don't like the words of mouth, counseling, chastising a child. Let the child know why that there's a consequence. What makes there's a consequence. So discipline is key, very, very important. And parents who neglect, if I once when I was the police, when I was living in the police canton, my son was at that time, he was at the age of 17. One of his friends came to see him with a jeep, the boy about 16, 17 years. I asked him, I said, who are you? He told me it's okay. I said, who owns the jeep? He said, Father gave him. Father gave you a jeep at the age of 17. Then when you become 30 years, what will Father give you a jet? I asked him. I went with Father in Ghana Street. I said, your child should not come to my compound again to see my child. You're destroying your child. You don't want a child to grow, to learn to grow gradually, to begin to appreciate little things and then to great things. If a child at the age of 16, 17, give him a jeep, what will he drive when he gets to the age of 30? How will he appreciate values to work hard to attain? And that was because the thing we sometimes we think we love our children, give them things they don't just. The age, at a particular age, the child instead must have train your child based on needs. Give them their needs, not desires. They're destroying they're destroying that drive to work hard, to appreciate, have a sense of contentment. So we should discipline our children in terms of how we even give them things. When we give our children, maybe we love their children, but at the end we spoil our children. When we give them a kind of value system with values that they cannot even achieve, they become corrupt. They want to steal. So children, to parents of whatever age should learn to inculcate in their children no moral spiritual values. To develop this so that the children can develop somebody's character. They become a pride to the family. And they're useful to themselves, useful to the family, useful to the community, and useful to humanity at large.
No, when some children can be very, very stubborn, and most parents believe that what these children understand is caning. So when you say you don't cane a child, so what do you make of the saying, there's spare the rod and spoil the child?
You know, see, caning, you see, when you counsel a child, let him know the consequence of what he's action and what he's doing. He may not be doing it out of ignorance, maybe peer group influence. When you let the child know the consequence, the cane is just to hit him, they feel the pain there. The consequence not only in this world, the next world. Let him know the consequence of his actions, for his own betterment of his life, his human material progress and spiritual progress. That those things are the things that he does that are harmful to him. Caning is not alone does not transform. It is character through loving counseling. Loving counseling, guidance, and advice, and let him know that if you fail to do this advice, I tell my children, I tell don't do this, I'm putting only one finger to don't do this, I warn you. When you now don't obey me, I'll give you a 10 finger. I said, I told you when I told you, didn't listen. I tell them my children like that. They know. So we should learn to inculcate in our children those moral values, and should also exhibit in your own life. Because the children be watching you. When you tell them do this, are you doing it yourself? Let our deeds be the one that they use in let us teach our children by our deeds too. Let's walk our talk. If you see the child, tell the child be have sense of contentment. You see a parent with every day bring bags of money. Children may not ask how do you get money, where do you get this money from? They may not ask you, but they are watching. They know in their heart that you are stealing money. Right? You know in their heart they are stealing money. So be content, let children know. So with honesty, truthfulness, commitment, humility, and so forth. Kindness, compassion. These are the attributes we need to inculcate in our children, and this will make them to grow. This will make them to now to apply that intellectual knowledge they've acquired to make it useful to themselves and to family and to society.
Yes, it's quite disturbing that we have people in a position of trust that they embezzle so much for that. I mean, even for their generation, the generation unborn, and when they passed on, the children acquire these ill-gotten wealth. Now, when a public officer steals so much to keep for the children, what implication does this, portend for the society?
There are serious implications. One, for the person who is stealing, as a commitment to answer before God. Bible says, do not take anything that does not belong to you that the concern of the owner, however worthless it is, honesty and truthfulness. When your parents steal money because they want believing that they want to steal and keep their children, they're not helping their children. The children should learn to work hard. You need to learn to work hard. If you don't work hard, you become lazy and you become a problem to the society. Most parents, such children, the children end up fighting. They end up selling up their parents' property. They are fighting among themselves. But when they teach a child to work hard, to appreciate what he has, contentment, the peace of love and unity, family bonds should be strengthened. The system with that is because of one hand. It should collaboration and cooperation. Everybody should want to contribute to a betterment of the family. Everybody should want to contribute to betterment of the community. Everybody should want to contribute to a betterment of the country and well at large. So parents who do that, they are destroying the life of their children. Children will not know the culture of service and hard work. You know? So, in fact, and when we expose our children to luxurious things, affluence, when they're not supposed to be there, we're destroying our children. Once my daughter, when she was doing her law, we go for evening program, she used her mother's car. I told her, you cannot use her mother's car. Now if you go to youth corps, will people give you a car? I think I'll give you a car. Mommy will not give you a car. Drop mommy's car. You want to enter a car and go to your lesson. I tell you, come at the proper time. When it arises, you have that car. You have a car. But now you don't need that car. I do it in my family. So you need contentment is a virtue. Let the children grow that they have to work for what they want to achieve. When they work for what they achieve, they'll appreciate the value. And they'll maintain they'll handle it, they'll protect it and handle it properly.
Okay, again, there's this disturbing trend that the teachers in school are supposed to complement the role of the parents in molding the child. But we have situations today where the teachers are the ones even abusing these children. Today we even hear of sex for marks. We even hear of teachers even helping to aiding the children in examination malpractices.
Yeah, you see, it is that the moral decadence. Because the laxity in our moral ethical values. People don't think about integrity. Don't think about material acquisition, material wealth, fame. I'm this, I'm that. They neglect their spiritual character. And they don't care about integrity. They don't care about the trustworthy character they have to develop. So teachers and parents, because the moral, they don't know that they are failing their duty as teachers. Teacher is supposed to be a role model to inculcate values in the children. Actually, my university, before you graduate, before you do your conclusion, says you are found to be worthy in learning and character. Not only learning, book learning, moral learning, spiritual learning. You must be also a sort of goodness to others. You have a channel of God's grace to others. You don't need to begin to learn to teach children how to cheat, how immoral things should they show in your life. Those spiritual moral values that will uplift the soul. Because the soul, the man has a soul in him. If we meet the material needs without meeting the needs of the soul will be tormented. And after this mortal world, we see the calamity. That's what we talk about hell. The soul will be far from God. When Christ said, my father mentioned my friends came with there are many mansions. If you don't prepare your life in this world now, acquiring those attributes by believing the things of God, like you know, brought by BAHA'I, we live in this mortal world, you'll be a destitute. Your soul will be a destitute. Because you'll be far from God. You'll be running about the street. No, you will not be admitted. That is what they call hell. Hell is when you're distant from God, and heaven is nearness to God, when you're closer to God.
Okay, you've heard it all. Parents should strive to ensure that they inculcate moral values in their children. And the teachers too should also play their role and not be part of the problem of bringing the child down. That's much we can take in this edition of the program. Stay tuned as we come your way again same time next week. But before we go, let's have a prayer.
Yeah, like earlier I read a prayer for children. I also repeat another prayer, I'll say that the same prayer for children, just a very brief one. This one was also revealed by Aduba. Let us pray. Oh God, guide me, protect me, make of me a shining lamp and a brilliant star, that the mighty and the powerful. This is a prayer that children are taught to recite these prayers every day in their life. So children, take the counsel of their parents counsel their children in the moral and spiritual with moral and spiritual values. And children, learn to heed to the counseling of their parents, so it will be well with you.
Thanks for watching, and God bless.
In a bombed out room in Belfast, a young boy is crying. He's alone and he don't understand how the teachings of one book, built on love and understanding, could cause the hurt and killing in his land. In an old part of Jerusalem, two children are playing. They run and laugh the way that it should be. But one will wear the star, and one will wear the crescent. They'll grow up and change from friends to enemies. But we are